This is Harley Race, 8 times NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, first ever King of the Ring.
This is Randy Rose from the original Midnight Express.
This is Todd Howard from Ellen Promotions.
This is Mr. Wrestling 2.
Hello, it's the hardcore legend, Mick Foley.
This is Q-Ball Carmichael.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and we're locked into that Ringside. Just time.
I heard thunder in the distance. This is probably an auditory illusion. Knowing me, it was. Although, believe it or not, I'm sober. Why? I don't know. 7 minutes after the top of the hour on the Central Time Zone, and actually top of the hour through every time zone. 7 after 5 in the Central Time Zone, 7 after 3 on the West Coast. A little bit of an early start for this live edition on this 15th day of July. Welcome into Beyond Ringside Live from the ever-evolving sauna known as Studio One. There's a hint in there somewhere. Yeah, 89 degrees when I walked in. I am Fast Steady Layne, and actually getting faster with every drop of sweat because I'm losing more weight. Welcoming in tag team partner, the one, the only Mark MaBo Bowman. What's up, brother MaBo?
Wait, so you say you heard thunder, right?
Yes, Imagine Dragons. I heard thunder.
Off in the distance, right?
I heard thunder, Imagine Dragons, yes.
So would that be, since we're broadcasting now, would that have been distant thunder radio?
Angel, what's up? How you doing? You went a different direction. I'm impressed.
I put a lot of shoe leather on a joke that only me and you got.
Yeah, I know. Actually, longtime listeners to the live and the recorded side are going to know about a longtime alliance that we had with Angel Ferris, also known as DJ Texas Bull Rider, out at Distant Thunder Radio out of Grand Prairie, Dallas, Texas. Had a chance to speak with her recently. She is engaged, getting ready to get remarried. Congratulations. Was hoping to be able to drop by and say hi when I made it out to Dallas a few weeks ago, but unfortunately time just was not on my side. And hopefully next time I make it out, I'm going to drop in and say hi. Before we go any further, go ahead.
Okay, never mind, because I know what you're going to do. And normally I would have added some levity and something stupid right there, but I know what you're doing, so go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, normally we do this in the last segment of the show before we go bye-bye. But since it's more than just a passing situation, the easy way to say it is, and I'm going to go ahead and take the easy way out for a minute, kind of like a song from Rocky, There's No Easy Way Out. One of those movies, I don't know which one, probably 4. We experienced a loss in not only the Beyond Ringside family, but also our own extended families as well. This week, found out midweek about the passing of, I'm just going to say the regular name, Chase Pearson. From the original cast of Beyond Ringside, you would know him as High Speed Chaser. As time went on, he evolved into another role because of a business that he had started, Magic City Online, nickname MCO. And, of course, a lot of people in our home market of Central Alabama know Magic City Online very well, Mr. MCO Chase Pearson. I'm thankful for the opportunities that Chase and I had to start MCO Radio and carry that for as long as we were able to, as well as MCO TV, which aired locally on CW21 on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. Great opportunities. Got a chance to meet a whole new group of people through Magic City Online. The family has asked if I would have considered the idea, and the answer is no. I don't have enough time on my schedule to pick up MCO and run with it. I genuinely and sincerely hope that someone will take that opportunity because it provided a great service for bars, restaurants, nightlife in and around the Central Alabama area especially. Want to say hello to the fine folks over at TP's. And, when Chase and I originally were two of the factors involved in the re-debut of BR. We did it over at the Fox and Hound, and as time progressed, we, launched it on Royal Rumble weekend. He and I were serving as tech advisors for each other's companies, for Magic City Online as well as for Beyond Ringside Entertainment. And then as we started to assemble situations and bring people in, either back or on board, including, of course, my vaunted tag team partner and brother, Mark Bowman, the Oracle of Amas, the Wicked Nemesis, Guff Grayson, one who the name kind of escapes me. And from there, also people like Andy Hudson, just different people able to do different things at different times. And Chase had been a constant for a long time. Well, Chase's mother started a major decline in health. That's why one of the reasons why he had backed away. And of course, I'm not going to forget the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis. If anybody thought I was intentionally forgetting somebody or not mentioning, there's only one person I'm intentionally not mentioning. Because I've never known one person to piss off the entire cast in 1 week. Chase managed to do it in a month, but it took this other guy 1 week. And I'm honest about that. It's very public, the friction that had been there between Chase and myself, but it was also public about the brotherhood that Chase and I shared. We were very unstoppable as a tandem and as brothers. But from that vantage point, like I said, Chase had to back away from a lot of things because of his mother's health. Even backing away from Magic City Online for as much as he did, but still trying to keep the business going as best as he could. Chase was outspoken. Chase was very ambitious. There are times when he could be extraordinarily abrasive and obnoxious. I'm not going to lie about it. I mean, look, family's family, and family will fight, and trust me, he and I did a couple of times, but the good times far outweighed the questionable times. But from there, to hear about his passing the way I did, first off, Rob, thank you. Good friend of mine, longtime friend of mine, Rob Vincent, got in touch. Then from there, Rob Langford, a lot of you know him through Elvis Rob Productions as an Elvis tribute artist. Patty from TP's got in touch. Chase's sister got in touch, and this is all inside the first few minutes. And as word started going around, of course, I'm making it a point to get in touch with especially the Beyond Ringside circle, because above all else, Chase was part of the Beyond Ringside family and will always be in spirit. Like I said, and with everything that has happened, I have not been given updates about the family's plans. I know that because it happened midweek, it's kind of hard to get things in place for right around the weekend that quickly. My heart goes out to his mother, first and foremost, his sister, the rest of his family and extended family, and of course all of us in the extended circle of friends and extended family members, not by birth or by paperwork. So I want to go ahead and sit back to simply say that I've got a nice quiet little drink, and it's non-alcoholic, right here in my hand. And I will just simply say to my brother Chase, Godspeed. I love you, man. You won't be forgotten, not by a long shot. That I guarantee. And one other thing real quick, and MaBo, I know you're really going to want to, before I go, let me hit this one real quick because it's a little bit of a lighter note. For those who know me, and I'm a very dedicated family person, even though I really don't come across that way sometimes, guess what? It's a work. And my family means a lot. And the thing that clicks into gear with Chase's passing on, or me finding out about it on the 11th, was the day before my, what everybody knows as I have passed it along as, my second birthday, my adoption anniversary, July 12, 1966. So I'm 52 for a second time this year. So, there's 100,000 catchphrases I could use right there, but I'm not going to. I'm just simply going to come back and say that for the time that I was able to have my parents, some would say my adopted parents, I say my parents. And the family that I was brought into has been tremendous my entire life. Cousins, second cousins, grandparents, aunts, uncles, all of the above. Those that have gone before, those that are still here, and those that are just now coming into the world. I've got a tremendous family, and I appreciate each and every one of them. But the main thing that I want to sit back and say is I had a very unique discussion with a good friend of mine in another venue earlier this week, and we were talking about adoption. And she actually is in a situation where she is considering the idea of putting her unborn up for adoption because she knows that she doesn't have the time and the capability to take care of the child, and she doesn't want to go another direction. And I've sat back and applauded her decision. The main thing that she's worried about and curious about is making sure the child goes into a good home and doesn't end up getting shuffled. And I let her know that newborns and very young have a very strong success rate going into full-time homes. So thank her for that. And more than anything else, to the great one upstairs, thank you in more ways than one for giving me 52 years and then 52 more years, technically speaking. And to Carl and Hazel, my parents, I love you. I will never forget you. And more than anything, I appreciate you more than words can ever say. MaBo, come on board, my friend.
You gonna let me say what I want to?
Yes.
All right, well, put your finger on that button.
You know the rules. Hashtag #HellDamnAss.
Yeah, but I want to say it, okay? Just let me say it, and if you can beep it out for later broadcast, go ahead. But you know I'm going to say it, because I'm going to shoot on him. I'm going to shoot on him, but in a respectful manner. Chase Pearson was a son of a bitch. Just like Bill Brasky.
Bill Brasky.
Bill Brasky. Chase Pearson was a son of a bitch. Chase Pearson and I rarely, if ever, got along. Most of the time, because of our mutual love for Eddie, we tolerated each other. I mean, for those like Eddie likes to say, long-time listeners, you will remember the infamous blow-up.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
Well, the one that we almost got in a fight at the original studio. But due to our mutual respect for Eddie, we tried not to kill each other. You know, after Chase left the show, you know, still out of I will say this. Other than his respect for Eddie and his love for Eddie, and if you ever repeat to anybody that I just said I love Eddie, I'll kill every one of you. Like he just said, it's all work. But the one thing I did, and I will say this, I respected Chase Pearson. And by the way, you know he hated you calling him high-speed chaser.
Yeah, I know.
What are you doing? Let the man rest in peace for crying out loud.
Hell, he wouldn't do it for me. Why should I do it for him?
Well, like I said, the thing I really respected about Chase, one, the love he had for his mother, and getting her foundation off and running and all that, because she's a school teacher, correct?
Yeah.
Or was a school teacher?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, he was constantly and always, you know, trying to push her foundation. The name escapes me right now, but
Linda Pearson, Reading and Math Center.
Thank you. Yes. You know, and I respected the hell out of that. And, you know, anytime I could retweet it or repost it or whatever, I tried to, you know, like I said. And I also respected the man's hustle. He hustled to make sure he got his brand seen. He made sure he hustled to preserve the integrity of his brand. And Chase said several times, you know, if you're a band and you're a piece of, well, I'm paraphrasing because I can't say what he said, and you're a piece of crap, he'll pull you. He will pull you, you know, from advertisement. He will, you know, everything. And that was the other thing. If you screwed him over, and he would work. He would work with people, you know, as far as payments or whatever. If you screwed him over, you burnt that bridge, buddy. But I respected the hustle that he had for Magic City Online and all of his other stuff. Like I said, we were to say even acquaintances would be pushing it. But there are some times, you know, about 2-3 years ago, was about, no, God, it was even less than that. That at my old job, I would be delivering parts somewheres, and I would see the MCO van go rolling by. Or all of a sudden, I would get a message from Facebook, and it would be Chase. He'd be like, "Hey, man, am I sitting next to you at a red light?" And I'm like, "Hold on, look." And I've looked to my left, looked to my right. Oh, hey, there's Chase. And Eddie, I don't remember if you remember the picture when at Kingdom Comics, Chase just happened to be there killing time, and he was right there, and we sent you the picture, and I think to paraphrase once again, your words were, "Holy crap, are you two together?"
Yeah.
So,
holy fecal
like
reference.
Yeah, holy fecal matter. So, like I said, Chase, and a lot of people will say this, that, they had a tumultuous relationship at best with Chase.
Mm-hmm.
But, like I said, the man, we didn't get along, but like I said, I respected that he loved his mother. I respected that he helped get her foundation going and, try to get it off the ground and get it support. And I respected that man's hustle on his brand, because that's the one thing he never, ever slacked on doing. And I wish he would have followed through, because I would have got a chunk of change. I wish he would have sued Vince McMahon in the WWE
for 205 Live. Yeah, I know. But the premise was different too.
I think he had let it lapse.
He
I
did.
think he had let the trademark lapse.
He had let the trademark and the website lapse.
Yeah. So, damn it, Chase. But
yes, just another.
When Eddie sent me he said, I think he sent me a text, right?
I did.
He called me.
Text. Yeah. Well, I actually asked you, can we talk? Then I told you by voice, because I wasn't going to tell anybody by text.
Well, I mean, you texted me first, and then you're like, I was like, oh, God, well, what Eddie usually wants to talk, it's either something goofy in the name that I have to suffer through, or it's something serious. That was a joke. But, yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked until, Eddie explained the circumstances and what had been going on, which I didn't even know, because, this had all happened even more recent than when I saw him about a year ago. So I was more in shock.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, there's people that are mutual friends of Eddie and mine that, had whether you say the fortune or the misfortune of meeting Chase. And, they didn't pull any punches like I did. They were like, he did not leave a pleasurable first impression on me, or this, that, and the other. But they're like, but da-da-da-da-da. So, whether you liked him, whether you loved him, whether you hated him, 99% of those people at least respected him. So,
yeah. Agreed. In just a little while.
Well, wait a minute.
Yes.
Can I put over the dadgum thing that I was going to put over before we remember Chase?
Yes.
Chase would have appreciated these too. So, everybody, and then we'll get to actual wrestling. I know we've taken up the first 15 minutes of a wrestling, internet radio show and podcast, but that's what
20.
we do.
20.
Or 20. But I think Chase would have actually appreciated these too. So, Eddie.
MaBo.
You're familiar with Johnsonville brats and sausages, correct?
Very.
By the way, they're not paying me for this.
Yeah, probably not.
But oh my God, they wouldn't have to for these. Well, over the holiday season that we just experienced here in the United Stations, as Juan Francisco would say, they had 2 special sausages, limited edition, if you will, collector's items, I guess. One of them was firecrackers, and it had, some various spices or whatever. We happened to, where I work now, we clearanced them out, mainly because they were about to expire in the next day or so. With those, I split them open and took them out of the casing, fried it up, put it in a quesadilla. Very delicious. Very delicious. The other is a Johnsonville brat. or Johnsonville sausage. It's more sausage than brat, with queso infused inside the sausage.
Cool.
I had some when I came home from work. I'm not a big cheese inside the hot dog kind of guy, unless it comes to my, my secret plan for fame and money and fortune, which I'm working on. Phase 2 is in effect. I'm not a big cheese in my wiener kind of guy. Let me tell you something, Eddie. This was a game changer. That's all I can say. So, once again, we are not being paid by Johnsonville sausages. I wish we were. If you see, while they're out for a limited time only, find them at your local Walmart neighborhood market in Helena, where I can get some more money. Try the Johnsonville sausage firecracker, and definitely try the ones with queso. They are MaBo approved. Back to you in the studio, Eddie. Oh, Shinsuke.
I assume you're watching the pre-show.
No, normally Eddie. I have the kind of Tourette's where I just randomly yell out wrestlers' names.
Well, yeah, you've done that for years.
Well, that's only when self-pleasuring myself.
Kimberly.
No, more. Brock Lesnar. Don't ask questions. Keep moving. Let's go.
Moving.
Let's go.
Yeah, speaking of, let me go ahead and go because I've been wanting to do this one all week. Look, let's go back to last Saturday, UFC 226. Let me go ahead and start by saying, 1, I know it's all a work. I don't care. 2, I know.
What's a work?
It's a work.
What's a work?
It's a working work.
What's a work, man?
It's a work. You don't know what a work is? A work is a work.
What's a work, man? I don't know what you're talking about. This is all real, brother.
A work is a work, of course.
Brother.
Number 2, I know it's all about selling tickets and making money. It's all about pay-per-view buys and possibly even merch somewhere down the road.
And it's all about 2 crazy billionaires who are having a peeing contest.
I will agree with this 138.681%. There is a way to handle a stare down and a showdown. And kids, in my humble opinion, last Saturday night was not it. Plain and simple. I agree with a lot of my compatriots in the broadcast industry when they and I say that the Daniel Cormier-Brock Lesnar scenario at the end of 226 had Vince McMahon fingerprints all over it. It looked like a WWE creative scripting, except for the verbiage involved because they wouldn't allow it on a PG program. I know Cormier called Lesnar into the cage. But when Brock handled the situation the way that he did, it made Lesnar look like a grade school bully and a college graduate bitch. Plain and simple. It made Cormier actually look strong and Lesnar look horribly weak in my book because he came across as a grade school bully. Then when Brock took the microphone and in my humble opinion showed why Paul Heyman should be cutting every effing one of his promos, Lesnar sounded and looked like nothing more than a cheap punk. Plain and simple. At Beyond Ringside on Twitter, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. If you'd care to come back on me on this one. Like I said, look, I know it's a work. I know it's all televised. I know it's all about selling tickets and pay-per-view buys. But there are better ways that this whole thing could have been handled. Right now, I'm going to, just for fun, put $10 on Cormier for when this fight finally takes place. I'm going to be monitoring USADA and most of your major sites to find out when Lesnar will have completed his suspension. And then when the fight will take place. But I'm going to sit back and say this one more time. If this turns into a real fight, yes, Cormier is his age right now, is the age that he is. Yes, He is going to turn 40 in March. He's already announced, win, lose, or draw, that's his last fight. But he wants Lesnar in that last fight. You just guaranteed that Lesnar's going to go over with the UFC title. But in the off chance that Cormier does retain and win, how is that going to make Vince look after all of this? Said it before, say it again. In my humble opinion, the WWE Universal Championship is 2 steps past irrelevant right now. MaBo?
Hey, I don't give a crap about that UFC stuff. But any situation where we can get the Universal title off of Brock, and which he is, it was made official over the, I think, last 24 to 48 hours. He is set for SummerSlam, so. And this will lead into predictions later, but hopefully SummerSlam will get the belt off of him, and then we'll have to deal with him. So, I don't, like I said, when Brock had his original run, when he first came in, I think Terry Runnels brought him in, actually, because I remember her calling him the Vanilla Gorilla on SmackDown.
God.
And he was, dude was a beast. He was a beast, and he could have had I guarantee you, if he would have stuck through it and not have left, then I have no doubt they would be he could have retired last year, and they'd be putting him in the Hall of Fame next year. But he chose to leave and go do this, that, and the other. I'm going to be a football player. I'm a Viking. No, you're not. I'm going to go to Japan. They put the belt on you because you're a draw. That's it. I'm going to be a UFC fighter. And then he came back looking like somebody's dad. He literally looked like Brock Lesnar looked like his own father almost when he came back.
Or his sister.
So, but, huh?
Or a sister.
What?
He could have been his own
sister.
sister.
I ain't saying nothing. And if Corey's listening, and he should be, and I'll know as soon as I say this, as soon as I say what I'm about to say, I'll know if Corey's listening because he will send me a message on Facebook apologizing and saying he has nothing to do with this. Brock Lesnar looks like his own daughter.
Okay, that's it. Now you want to let new listeners know to who you're referring by Corey?
Corey would be Corey that I used to work with at Target. That probably one of my very good friends, and probably one of only a few positive notes that ever came out of working at Target. But he calls me either Marv, like Marvin, I don't know why, or he calls me Uncle, Unc. But yeah, well, we've had him on the show a couple times. Go back and find him in the back catalog. Go listen. I know you know. They don't know. You angry pile of stovetop stuffing. So,
of course, everything from MaBo is a food and or poop reference, or possibly even a perversely, overly, one-dimensionally sexual.
Yep, that's what I excel in.
WWE has announced officially that Hulk Hogan has been reinstated into the WWE Hall of Fame. Wrestling.
I was wondering if you could bring that up because that literally dropped like 2 hours ago.
Yep, I'm reading WrestlingNewsSource.com. WWE issued the following regarding Hulk Hogan's status with the company. This comes amid reports that he is allegedly set to return imminently. Quote, after a 3-year suspension, Hulk Hogan has been reinstated into the WWE Hall of Fame. This second chance follows Hogan's numerous public apologies and volunteering to work with young people, where he is helping them to learn from his mistake. These efforts led to a recent induction into the Boys and Girls Clubs of America Alumni Hall of Fame, end quote. Fast Eddie Layne, quote, it's about frickin' time, end quote.
To quote Fast Eddie Layne, it's all a work.
Brother.
Well, let me tell you something, little dudes. You don't want to sit there and say racist things. I had plenty of black friends. Booker T, Junkyard Dog.
Come on, get you other.
No, hold on. Don't mess up my bit, yo.
Go with it, dude.
Junkyard Dog. Booker T. Virgil, question mark? With the Hulkster. You love black people. Woof. It was going somewhere, but you messed it up and you interrupted me.
How did I mess it up?
You messed me up. No, that's okay.
You have the
That's
attention
right.
span of a mosquito.
Nope, you're no longer. Nope, you're no longer Fast Eddie Layne. You're the bit killer, Eddie Layne.
I've been called that before.
Oh well, something a little different, but anyway, I mean, I agree. It's about time. You know, a lot of people said, you know, it's like the old saying, "Time heals all wounds." And it's interesting. I wonder what they're going to do. I guarantee you, they're getting ready because they have their Super Show coming up in the fall in Australia. I can almost promise you Hogan will be a part of that. I would not be surprised if something happens and we see him take over position on Raw.
No.
Just temporarily.
SmackDown.
No. Paige's movie hasn't come out. Once Paige's movie comes out, then when they fire her, Hogan will take over.
Okay, Xavier, come on, get with the program. Get the new movie finished with Paige.
That's not cool, bro.
I don't care.
That's not cool, bro.
Since when have we ever even attempted to be cool on this show?
That's not cool, bro.
Okay, bro. Brah. Brat.
Shame on you.
Oh, please, go
Brother.
away.
Brudda.
Brudda. Yeah, there you go.
Brudda.
Like I said,
Speaking of brudda,
it's about damn time. I am glad to see WWE has finally listened to the majority of people and have gone ahead and reinstated Hogan into the WWE Hall of Fame. And if we do have a return by Hogan, doesn't matter if it's one day or one more year. Thank you. Do I want him in ring? Hell no. Do I want him with a title? No. Is he a special attraction? He could be all over again.
oh God, what if Hogan beats Brock for the Universal title at SummerSlam?
I will walk into Madison Square Garden and take a crap in the middle of the venue.
Just saying. It's kind of weird if you think about it.
It sucks. No, not even a good idea. Not even a good idea in
I didn't say it
WWE.
was a good idea. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Not even in 2K19 would I let that happen.
Which, the return of Rey Mysterio, Booyaka, Booyaka. Also, Ronda Rousey will be a pre-ordered downloadable character. Or you could just be smart, like I am, buy it the day after Thanksgiving when it's $20, and just wait and pay for those characters later. That's what I do.
Also, according to Wrestling News Source, posted by Ben Jordan Karen, as Hulk Hogan revealed earlier on Twitter, he met with WWE locker room with the locker room in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania before Extreme Rules. PW Insider is reporting the WWE Hall of Famer issued a formal apology to the locker room for comments he made when a tape was leaked in 2015 that included him using certain language from years previous. Hogan apologized for hurting people and also the embarrassment he brought to the company. He told talent to always be aware of what they say because there are cameras everywhere these days. Hogan reportedly got a positive response and shook hands with many of the talent. Hogan was said to be extremely emotional. This does go on to say on Wrestling News Source that Hogan is expected to return to WWE on screen very soon.
And just guessing who's in Pittsburgh right now, probably in the front rows of the locker room were the New Day, Byron Saxton, Booker T, David Otunga. I'm just saying.
You forgot Sasha Banks, Ember Moon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, dude, I am so excited because, it took them, 3 to 5 years? But there's rumor that Sasha and Bayley will get to do it all over again that time of year, but instead of it a takeover, it's going to be at SummerSlam.
Okay.
And speaking of the New Day,
Dude. Go ahead.
freaking Big E and his hypnotic pelvic thrusts.
You're watching the pre-show, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you denied it earlier.
No, that was sarcasm when you were like, are you watching it? And that's what I said, no. I randomly yell out wrestler's name.
I know.
Well, since we've already missed the Andre Cien Almas match with Sin Cara, I don't know who won, since we're gonna be moving into predictions later. I don't know who won, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Almas won. And right now, the New Day, who are they set to face? Oh, Sanity. Finally making their main roster debut.
Theoretically true.
Well, I mean, I think they finally made it on Smack. After being drafted in the Superstar Shakeup, 4 months ago? They finally started showing up physically. I love their entrance. They have a great entrance.
They do.
They finally started showing up within the last few weeks on SmackDown. What was that? Anyway, but before, any other news you would like to touch upon, sir?
Hang on a second. My television went crazy. My volume level's up sky freaking high.
Well, while Eddie does this, and I don't know if he can still hear me or not.
I can.
But, well, I mean, I didn't know, if you're going to be adjusting your TV.
I'm done.
Did you have any other stuff you would like to bring forth to light?
Let me go ahead and run a couple of things from the week that was in pro wrestling, because a lot of people have asked the question, would the Lashley Reigns pull apart from Monday Night Raw have been better suited for the end of the show rather than the beginning? I liked it being at the first of the show. I think it set a great energy level. The crowd got in behind Roman Reigns like I've never seen before, especially when he got ready to do the dive.
And it wasn't expected, because everybody would have expected the big pull apart at the end.
Yeah. I mean,
and I love the fact, and look, I'm not saying it was a legit punch, but it damn sure looked like it when they were on the floor in front of the crowd, and Roman rushed Bob. I can't help but call him Bob now. When he rushed Lashley, it legitimately, even from the sound, it looked like Lashley dicked him hard.
You talking about the shoulder block on the near the hard cam side?
No, it was like literally dead center. Okay, so on the opposite side, on the floor, he rushes Lashley, and Lashley just goes wham and just pops him one good time. And it makes me question if that was a legitimate punch or not, because I've never seen, if that was a legitimate punch, then Roman has been practicing his bumps, because I've never seen Roman Reigns drop that fast and drop that hard, especially on the floor.
Yeah.
But he clocked him.
For the record, as far as it goes, the storyline that the announce team is trying to put over about this being about egos, I totally disagree with that concept. Egos is a topic better suited for a heel matchup, or the heel in the matchup. So if you're sitting back saying both men have an ego problem, then basically you're saying that both men are heel in this matchup. From that vantage point, I love how the majority of the top tier stars, and this is kind of a knock on the way that everything's handled on the roster. As you notice different people coming out for different tiers of the pull apart, the top tier talent knew how to sell it. A lot of the mid-card talent obviously figured they were supposed to be there as window dressing. So as people rolled around, as in rotated around during the pull apart, you had some of the mid-card talent, younger talent, basically standing around with a thumb up their ass instead of trying to actively sell the pull apart. So, I mean, if you go back and look, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because you had one group come out, the second group come out, the third group come out, then you basically had everybody out there. And you had different people at different points who were either just standing around or acting as cheerleaders. Well, I mean, I'm not being totally denigratory about that situation. It's like there's only so much you can do when you got 30 people out there on a pull apart. But you're supposed to be acting as that wall to keep the two separated. And standing around like is not selling the pull apart. It's making yourself visible and making yourself realize, I think I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing. So for the most part, And I love how Michael Cole slipped up and said, quote, Angle was trying to protect his main event for Sunday. If this match goes go home, I'm really going to be upset. This should not be the last match on the card. Now, granted, AJ Rusev is not, N-O-T not, but this is Extreme Rules, not SummerSlam. This is Extreme Rules, not Survivor Series, not WrestleMania, and not Royal Rumble. It's not even King of the Ring.
Ooh.
The double flip?
Yeah.
The double tope? Yeah. Oh, wait a second.
Oh, no.
Wipe out.
He just killed Kofi. His entire body just landed on Kofi.
And for anybody who wants to sit back and say anything about people being positioned on a card, I give all the credit in the world for New Day. I'm going ahead and going in the on the pre-show. They are so incredibly over. Merchandise sales still through the roof, and they're on the pre-show. And New Day Insanity, good match so far. I'm watching. I picked it up a few minutes ago. I guess when the intros were being done. But your thoughts on this one, the pull apart and some of the talents just standing around.
That is what it is, man. That's all I can say is it is what it is.
Well, the expression on Roman's face and the energy that he put out before he hit the ropes to do the dive, that the crowd just absolutely bought in, because if you zoom in and you look at the expression on Roman's face, it had a freaking expression. The one thing Roman Reigns has not done as of late, sell a expression. He's so deadpan. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't buy into his character. It's okay to be the strong silent type, but when you're paid to evoke emotion in somebody to the point where they're going to buy the pay-per-view or buy the network, and you don't, that's why a lot of people don't buy into Roman Reigns. But even I, who am notorious for joining Mark MaBo Bowman and 2 Tons of Agony Adam Coffey in the Impress Me Fat Man category when it comes to watching an event, I actually sat back and went, damn, boy got a pulse. Go. And then when he hit the dive, oh, hell yeah, I'm in. And then when he launched himself on the run back down the ramp, that's a side of Reigns we haven't really seen. And I think that may be what the front office is looking for out of Reigns. Because
talking about what, 2 or 3 years? But,
oh God, yes.
Yeah.
But your thoughts on that one?
Like I said, talking about 2 or 3 years, but I think the tiny little light, the fridge light bulb that is in his brain, finally sparked a little bit. But it's to see where he goes from here with it. It's great to have that one little spark, that one little pinhole of light, of, yeah, as you say during our interviews with, whenever we have somebody on, that aha moment, so to speak.
Yeah.
Anybody could have that. I have them 5 or 6 times a day when I take a crap. But whether you take that aha moment and make it into an ah moment, that's what's going to matter. So we will see. Because, honestly, you couldn't find anybody more bland-wise personality than Roman, except Bobby Lashley.
Nope, got somebody else. Because
you leave him out of this.
Oh no, it's going to be mentioned. He's going to be mentioned in a minute.
I don't know who we're talking about. I'm just having fun here.
Oh, I know you. No. You know who I'm going to bring up, but I'm going to go ahead and mention this.
I might know the person, but I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm going to mention this one first. The consummate buzzkill was when they cut from the pull apart when the music played the second time, and you knew they were headed out, and they cut to Mickey and Alexa. I'm going to say this. Mickey James and Alexa Bliss are 2 very solid hands in the ring. But they just made me want to change the channel. The carnage, the intensity, the mean. Really? My God, did you smoke 5 J's before you got out there? Did you pop Valium before you went on screen? I don't care. But the fact of the matter stands, they were horrible. In-ring talent, solid, superb. Mickey James will go down in history as one of the all-time greats. Alexa still working on the build-up for the legacy. But on the mic, segment.
But hold on, with Alexa Bliss though, in that short time from even when she was just managing in NXT, all the way up till now, leaps and bounds. So like you said, still building that legacy. I agree with that.
But they were to go from that pull-up. They should have just went to the commercial.
I agree. That was a production call. That was not on either one of them, because I think honestly that segment itself could have worked anywhere else. But when you come from,
if you come back from break and do that,
not trying to do the inside baseball, brother, the inside terms, brother. When you come back from a segment like that has so much heat coming off of it.
Yeah.
And then you have them just looking at the monitor going, "Oh, wow. Oh, okay." That is a production mistake. That's nothing on either woman or anything like that. It was whoever set that up in the production notes for television. So, while I agree, it definitely was a buzzkill. You can't put that on the women themselves.
I can put it on them because of the way that they came across.
Well, the way they came across, but once again, it's not really their fault, because you could have had somebody even more energetic. And I still think with the way everything went down with that pull apart and all that, it would have been hard. It would have been hard pressed. You would have had to. I mean, Cena would have got booed, but it would have had to have been somebody uber charismatic.
Oh,
that would have actually. But then that would have just killed what we saw with the pull apart. So
I got a better idea.
It was one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
No, they could have done it.
Unfortunately, what?
They could have done one little thing different. If they were going to leave it in that segment, in that slot, they could have had Charlie Caruso or Renee Young come up to the two of them, try to talk to them while they're watching, and then they'll turn around and say blah, 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 then build into the match, then go to commercial.
But once again, that falls under production.
Yeah, I know. Whoever wrote the run should be smacked in the head. I'm not calling for their head. I'm saying they should be treated like DiNozzo on NCIS. Thwap, back of the head.
Oh, your old man reference is lost on me.
NCIS is still on television, ding dong.
Yeah, well, so is Andy Griffith, but still, Papaw.
Okay, down. NCIS is still in original production runs.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes. It is.
Really?
It's still in production run. They're still making new episodes.
But should they? Should they really? You didn't ask yourself. Wait, hold on. We're to the Jurassic Park thing. You didn't ask yourself, could we make new episodes of NCIS? What you should have asked yourself was, should we make new episodes of NCIS?
It's still a good show.
Which, by the way, kind of segue into that. I know we don't normally talk about this, but my favorite type of parody movies has now made a Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom. And I will share it with Eddie when we go to break.
Okay. Well, actually, we're not going to break. We're going to take about 10. We're going to go through the lineup for tonight, and this is going to be right at a 1-hour edition of Beyond Ringside Live for this Sunday.
Before we get into predictions, real quick, this past Thursday, Tunzi and I went to. If you're familiar with what they call the Fathom events, usually put on by your local theater chains here in Alabama, it's Regal Cinemas.
Okay.
They do everything from riff tracks to broadcasting symphonies, concerts, everything. You pay a little bit more than a normal movie ticket. and then you go and enjoy it at the theater. You know, you don't. It's like you're almost there live. It's almost like pay-per-view. Remember that, kids? Pay-per-view. Anyway,
there are still pay-per-views going on.
I still can't. I find that hard to believe. It freaks me out. But there was a documentary called 350 Days, and over the past 5 years, Evan Ginsberg was a part of it.
Yeah.
Over the past 5 years, they documented the lives. It was definitely all old school wrestlers. There was about a half dozen of them that I was like, who are these guys? Because I'd never heard of them. I mean, that shows you how how old they were, or how, I would say, more local they were. And anyway, and to show you how, like I said, it was over the course of 5 years. At the end of the documentary, they put up a in memory of, and it was the likes of George Steele, who was in the movie, passed. Jimmy Snuka, passed. Ox Baker, passed. You know, half of the guys I'd never heard of, passed. So, you know, like I said, they filmed it over the course of 5 years. I encourage, if you guys could find it, you know, and normally I'd be like, hey, you know, if you want to pay something, pay for something. That's just me. I do encourage you, if you can stream it, pay for it, stream it. If you can purchase a hard digital copy, or, you know, hard copy like a Blu-ray or a DVD, do it. If they run this event again and you're able to attend it, do it. It's amazing. I mean, the likes of J.J. Dillon, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Abdullah the Butcher, like I said, Jimmy Snuka, George Steele, Ox Baker, Wendy Richter. I never knew, and you might have, Eddie, but I never just, as a kid, I don't remember this until I just saw her on the documentary. Wendy Richter has 2 different color eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never knew that as a kid growing up. She was on there. And they cover everything. They cover from, I mean, just you name the topic that you would ask a legend. Tito Santana. By the way, remember how we always cover the long running babyface, you know, Ricky Steamboat?
Right.
Rarely do if we ever mention, and I didn't really think about this until he came up on the screen. We never really mentioned Tito Santana because, to the best of my knowledge, I've never seen Tito Santana as a heel.
I don't think I have either. I really don't.
Exactly. Yeah. Bret Hart, you know, he was on there, bitter as ever. My favorite thing about Bret Hart, when I was, you know, WWF champion, I never did drugs. I was clean. Literally, 2 segments later, you know, when you're in the locker room and there's all this cocaine laying around, it's the best way for guys to bond. And I'm like, okay, so before you were the champion, you were a cokehead. Then they put the belt on you, not a cokehead. Liar.
And you make a reference to pay-per-view. Allow me to remind everybody, if you don't have the WWE Network, which is available for $9.99, and you still have a couple of seconds where you can order it and get Extreme Rules as part of your first month free, don't forget, In Demand pay-per-view is carrying Extreme Rules starting 1 minute ago.
Is it past 6 o'clock?
Say what?
Is it after 6?
It's 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, awesome. But anyway, if you get, and found out, and I sent Eddie the message too. He never responded, or he might have. I don't remember. But I never knew the Doctor of Style Slick that his father was already in professional wrestling. His father was Rufus R. Jones. I never knew that.
Your text message was effed up. Go back and look at it. I didn't know what you were saying.
Look, you can't figure it out. You know I do voice to text. You know to figure it out.
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
It said, well, I did notice instead of R, it said Howard Jones. But
uh-huh.
You usually, by now, you figured him out.
No,
Slipping.
There's some, it's just like, what the hell? Okay, Rufus R, I get that part, but what?
But anyway, check it out. It's 350 days. I can't recommend this enough. And for those who remember years ago when we had the great Ox Baker on, and how Ox Baker was Ox Baker. And Eddie, correct me if I'm wrong, did his wife not sit there and yell at him, let those boys go, they need to finish their show, or something to that effect?
I don't remember. I think that was during the second one, the second time he came on, not the first.
when he was pushing the cookbook?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he pushes the cookbook in this documentary. He cooks something, and I don't think he cooks it all the way because Tunzi and I both were like, "What the crap?"
Yeah, I know.
But
Ox was a tremendous joy to have on.
But I'll tell you right now, Ox Baker was Ox Baker all the way, and he was a hoot to just watch on that screen one more time. And for those of you, and then last thing on this, if you remember Jimmy Snuka, he was, not fit to stand trial and all this, that, and the other. His mental state was deteriorated. I don't know at what point his segment was filmed, but he was more together than you would ever know. So I don't know if they caught this before the decline, but yeah, he was very, very with it. And we think he was on an exercise ball because he kept bouncing up and down. We're not sure.
And also want to say a very special hello to a person that MaBo mentioned, who is a great friend of the Beyond Ringside family. Had a chance to speak with him on a number of different Tuesday night episodes for the Tuesday Conversation. And that is actually the gentleman who was the executive producer for the movie The Wrestler. And, of course, host of Legends TV, host of Legends Radio, has his own very successful shows up in New York. Mr. Evan Ginsberg, it's always great to be able to... Evan and I talk back and forth, and I'm pretty sure if you've got him on social media, you know he's going to be very candid and honest in his comments about Extreme Rules. But, yeah, it's always great to talk to Evan. Matter of fact, we could probably set that up.
You know what? If you can, normally because, my gets are far superior to yours when it comes to interviews on this station. I mean, come on. We had a hot dog. Yeah. Thank you, and you're welcome.
We've had a Viking. We've had a Viking.
Oh God, we've had too many things.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get in touch and see if obviously it would have been great to have him on before. I didn't know he was part of 350 Days. I would have loved to have him on Facebook. Huh?
You don't follow him on Facebook?
No.
Look him up, Evan Ginsberg.
Yeah, but you're more, I don't want to say close to him because it makes it sound like you know each other, but you get what I'm saying. He's more prone to probably answer you, but if to have him to come on for the follow-up, that would be great. I would love to see what the numbers were and everything post documentary debut. So yeah, if you can get in touch with him, great, have him on.
Okay, this match is about to start. Let's go ahead and do this one. Raw Tag Team Championship match, Woken, Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt versus the B Team. Your choice.
The Leaders of the Worlds is
By the way,
in a group chat, I had picked Sanity over New Day, and they won. And I picked Almas over Sin Cara, and we can only assume that he won.
We can only assume that Almas won. Yeah, I highly doubt Sin Cara would have gone over. I actually had no winner picked in the Sanity's New Day match. I forgot to make a prediction on that one, but I had a feeling that if they're doing pre-show, that means that New Day is going to they can make a fucking pancake look good, or they can make a frickin' F-R-U-C-K-I-N frickin'. Normally I say frickin', but I said frickin' that time. F-R-U-C-K-I-N.
Okay, keep going.
No, seriously, it's one that I do all the time.
Okay, keep going.
I'm working on it. So who did you pick in the tag title match?
I said the Leaders of Worlds.
Okay, and one, of course, is half of Bray's Lawn Service down in Jemison, Alabama.
Bray's Lawn Service.
Mm-hmm.
The mower of lawns.
Bray's, I'm not kidding. There's actually a company called Bray's Lawn Service. I saw the truck down in Jemison, Alabama a couple of days ago, and I sent MaBo the text message, and first thing popped in my head is Eater of Worlds, Deleter of Weeds. There are so many bad ones you can put in there. Mower of Lawns is a good one. I like Deleter of Weeds, especially if it was Bray and Matt's lawn service. Of course, if it was Jeff Hardy from 5 years ago, we could use another terminology verb with weeds, but who's not going to do that? Finn Balor versus Constable Baron Corbin. MaBo.
Well, I know Corbin's shift starts at TGI Fridays in about 30 minutes, so it's going to be a quick match, so I'm going to say Finn Balor.
I'm going to go ahead and say Finn Balor too, but at this delicate stage right now, they need something to maintain some kind of credibility for Baron Corbin. And Extreme Rules is notoriously a heel-heavy pay-per-view. So I'm actually going to flip and sit back and say Baron Corbin goes over Finn Balor. Don't be surprised. I'm going to go ahead and sit back and say that the B team will go over with the tag team titles tonight. I'm not picking Bray and Matt. SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella versus Asuka. Ellsworth suspended high above the ring in a shark cage. James Ellsworth needs to be buried 500 feet under the sea level in the shark cage and then just let it disappear and fall apart. Carmella versus Asuka, MaBo.
I think it's time Asuka finally gets the title, but I would hope that it would have been at a big pay-per-view.
Yeah, they backed themselves into a corner, but since she's already got her first loss under her belt, it really doesn't matter that much anymore. Kind of like Taker. Kind of like Taker after losing at WrestleMania. It's like, okay, how are they going to screw this up even further than they already did?
I think I picked Carmella to retain, but if they go one more time, I think I've got Asuka going over at SummerSlam to win the title.
I have Asuka. Well, they haven't decided whether or not this is going to be a disqualificationable match or a traditional match or Extreme Rules match or whatever. I figure Carmella's going to find a way to retain the title, and Asuka will pick up the belt at SummerSlam. Raw Women's title, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Extreme Rules match. Mark?
Let us not forget that Ronda Rousey will be sitting at ringside.
Yeah, she's already on screen, too.
Yeah. Oh, heck, I wasn't even looking at the screen. I have my back turned. I am not kidding you. I'm going to go ahead and say Bliss, because Nia as champion was just horrid. So wonderful.
I'm going to go ahead and burn this one down real quick. Nia Jax as a babyface is just not good.
No.
I like Nia as a heel. I think she is much better as a heel. I think the culture in which we live nowadays lends credence to the fact that people can feel sorry for Nia when she's being bullied by a person 1/5 her size, verbally run down and all that other crap. And I'm sorry, Nia should be a destroyer. They call her
exactly.
Alexa should be in the babyface position trying to climb the mountain as a babyface, and Nia should be the heel right now as a powerhouse. I think Nia is very talented, but the role in which they currently have her cast sucks, plain and simple. Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins, 30-minute Iron Man match for the Intercontinental Belt. MaBo?
I would see that's the only one I really had issues with. As far as I'd love to see Seth get the belt back. Seth doesn't really need a belt. I think both men are going to put on. This is going to be an amazing match. If this were SLW, this would be MaBo's match of the week. But I think it's time to have Dolph have another good run with the belt. So I'm going to say Ziggler. I'm going to say Ziggs.
I like
either that or they are going to find a way to do. It's going to be tied at the end, but they won't do the Brett Shawn deal. It'll end in a tie.
I think somehow or another Drew McIntyre has figured into one of the decisions to cost Dolph a pinfall or a fall during the match.
Uh-oh, Eddie, we're finally getting it. Bray versus Bo. We're finally getting Bray versus Bo.
Think I'm scared of you? That's funny as hell. I love it.
The fans have been wanting this since day one.
Oh yeah.
When was Bray and Bo gonna face each other? Both were always heel. So
swerve tag.
Oh,
I love it.
You'll
get it later in the match.
Smart.
You'll get it later in the match. I just thought it was beautiful.
But still.
Oh yeah, it was a beautiful moment to have the Rotunda boys.
That entire arena went,
Yeah, and then had to pull out.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautifully done.
Oh, it was. I loved it. Plain and simple. I'm going Ziggler to retain because I like him in the current role that he's in right now. Seth does not need the belt, neither does Dolph. But right now, with the way things are going with Ziggler and with McIntyre, I think it's a great thing for them to have the belt. Eventually, I think they're going to end up with the tag team titles as well. In my humble opinion, considering the fact that the Universal title is effing irrelevant right now. Dolph's the flagship of Raw.
I guarantee you they're going to cement that with this Iron Man match.
These two are. This should be the main event of the card. Legit.
I agree.
Jeff Hardy, Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. title. Legit. This one can go either way, and I'm not going to complain. If you make me pick, I'm going Shinsuke.
Once again, I agree. But I know Jeff just came back from an injury, but I know he's still not doing too well.
Right.
So I'm going to go Shinsuke. Plus, it finally puts a belt on Shinsuke without it having to be the world title or the SmackDown title, or whatever you want to call it.
The blue belt.
Basically the blue belt. So I think this is a way to finally put a belt on Shinsuke. So the crowd gets a belt on Shinsuke, and you because I know Vince probably doesn't like it being on Shinsuke. So, it still keeps the belt on AJ up until this point, and it puts a new one on Shinsuke. Everybody goes home happy.
Exactly. Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens, steel cage match. I am actually going to go ahead and find a way to say that Kevin Owens pulls out a win.
I would not be surprised. I think I picked Strowman, but I would not be surprised if he finds a way. And also at the same time, though, this is going to be an entertaining match. It's not going to be, whereas Ziggler-Rollins is going to be, I think, would be a match of the year candidate. I think this one on a more entertainment level, because that's what that E stands for. If this was still WWF, it would be more focused on that second W, and it would go to Ziggler and Rollins.
Right.
But since they've now got that E in there, and they're focusing on entertainment, I think this match is going to, in a steel cage, Braun and Kevin Owens, this is going to put the entertainment in World Wrestling Entertainment tonight.
Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley.
I'm saying it. I'm going to say it. Bob goes over.
I'm going to say the same thing.
If I'm not mistaken, is this not for a number? This not for?
They have not said a thing about contendership. They have not said anything about contendership after that hogwash bull crap that was pulled by creative, or focusing around Paul Heyman and Kurt Angle.
Yeah, because originally it was supposed to be a multi-man match. That was going to be for the number one contendership.
Correct.
I still think they find some way to say it, do it, finagle it, and I think, and I would be okay with this because it leads into my other predictions I've dropped on people. I say Lashley goes over. Lashley becomes number one contender for SummerSlam. Lashley gets the belt ever so briefly. Maybe Braun cashes in, maybe he doesn't. But the following night on Raw, when Brock leaves, Heyman takes over for Lashley. Because that's what we need. You can still get the same sort of effect with Lashley and Heyman, but still have a champion that's going to be there.
I'm going Lashley, plain and simple. I've just got that hunch that they're going to find a way to make this work. WWE, the SmackDown Championship. Excuse me, burpage. Sorry about that. Didn't have time to hit the cough button. AJ Styles defending against Rusev. I've already made myself very clear on this one a little bit earlier. There's no way in hell Rusev goes over. I like the character, but unfortunately it's too one-dimensional, especially with the Rusev Day thing done by Aiden. It's great to sell T-shirts. It's great to sell merch. Great to get a short-term pop. Do I see Rusev going over with the title tonight? Hell no. AJ retains.
Oh, no, I agree. AJ retains, but, it's always good. I think at this point, Rusev has maybe transcended that needing a belt because they've got, the Rusev Day and Lana Day and, their little shtick that they do. And, look at them. They're putting them on Snickers commercials and all this stuff. And I think they've kind of transcended them needing a belt. It's no longer that he's not been made a joke or a comedy act, but it's definitely not that Rusev, from 3-4 years ago where it was serious and all this, that, and the other. And, of course, with Lana being on Total Divas and shock and surprise, she's not Russian. she speaks Russian. She was actually raised in Russia at some point with her father. But, since they kind of pulled back the curtain on that whole situation, they're able to have fun with it.
One,
kind of like how Zack
two,
Ryder years ago.
three. New Raw Tag Team Champions.
They won? Never mind, I can see the look on Bo's face. They won. That's wow.
That was a good match. That was entertaining. I liked it. You had different elements in play, legit, and right now with the way, and I like the fact that they put them on the underdogs. So you have brand new Raw Tag Team Champions as the B team, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
I have a feeling they'll go back. They'll probably get them back tomorrow night because there is rumor that something big is supposed to happen at SummerSlam with Bray and Matt losing the titles.
Well, guess what? They just swerved everybody tonight.
Well, I'm a little bit shocked, but you know what? Did we ever get to see Bo and Bray tie it up?
Very little.
I mean, other than what they did at the beginning?
Very little. During the match, very little, but it was there.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say, after they lose them back tomorrow night, the WWE has come to terms on the release of Joe Hennig and Wyndham Rotundo. Oh, wait, no, that's... Anyway. Oh, look. Yeah, it's serious now when they got the immediate interview.
Yeah, Charlie Caruso. God, she is beautiful.
She is just a little cutie.
Okay, I'm just going to simply sit back and say this. She is one of the most elegant ladies that I have seen on WWE programming since Lillian Garcia.
Yeah, but you know what? My heart will always belong to Renee Young. So
mine will always belong to Lillian Garcia. I'm just simply sitting back saying that Charlie is just absolutely, I mean, the word beautiful, yeah, that's nice and everything. I just simply sit back and say elegant.
Oh, God, there goes. He's trying to floss again.
And SmackDown tag titles, Bludgeon Brothers, hell no. Your call, quick.
Bludgeon Brothers.
I'm going Team Hell No just for fun. Just for fun, I'm going Team Hell No on this one. So
you think we're going to have both tag titles swap out tonight?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Why?
We're not going to do this all week long.
Why?
Why not?
I know what I'm buying you for your birthday.
What?
A set of legit boss rings.
No.
I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world.
Now, that's Dolph Ziggler, not Sasha Banks.
No, you just did the record scratch. Dude.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
And I hate that, too. I'd hate to be in the arena when that happens. That's got to be the most just jarring thing in the world just to hear that. That's fine on the radio or whatever, but it shakes me when they just play it through the TV because it's so loud. Also, tickets are on sale now. In the fall, WWE Tour returns to Birmingham for a house show. But they don't call it a house show. They call it a live event.
Yep. It's not an event. The Wicked Nemesis is not on the card.
It's not on the card. So
no, it's not.
It's a live house show.
Let me hit a couple of things real quick before I give it to you.
It's something that we will not be.
Shut up! Don't say it.
He's going to blow our chances for the next live show. Robbie E, ladies and gentlemen. Robbie E, DJZ.
There you go. Don't say it.
All right, hit it.
Okay.
DJ Picklepuss.
I'm going to go ahead and go with my last calls real quick. Number one, Kevin Owens should get an Emmy for the way he's carried himself these last few weeks. By the same token, he would have gotten more than one Emmy by now. Number two, I'm probably in the minority on this one, but I'm willing to say that I might be wrong when I say that I'm in the minority. But I find Mojo Rawley to be boring and already borderline stale. We've seen the jacked up heel more times than I care to count. He does not have a personality or mastery of facial expressions. He doesn't make a difference in the match, plain and simple. If he gets a major push, it will show that WWE does not have a finger on the pulse of what works. Personally, I could never see him as a top star, mid-card at best. Sasha and Bailey being in the counselor's office just wasn't that good. It really wasn't.
It was the exact same office as the week before.
It just wasn't that good. They were trying to make it come across in the same realm as Team Hell No, and you cannot duplicate the chemistry that Kane and Daniel Bryan had in the Team Hell No series run. Plain and simple. The counselor's office, whatever the hell, was great during that storyline because it fit. Sasha and Bailey might as well just go see a divorce lawyer because it just ain't working. The backstage scene with Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins during Monday Night Raw was beautifully done. I don't care who says what. Also, I found the promo that Rollins cut to be a little bit flat, a little bit pandering, and a little bit blah. I know it's not the tendency to oversell an opponent, but Rollins undersold Ziggler. By the way, we found out exactly what a Scottish Wookiee was Monday night. Just look at Drew McIntyre. Ziggler was the one to push it to a higher level when he came out. And Rollins' comment about bleaching his hair was funny. I know that when a show, but it wasn't that great. Rollins, I don't know what happened, but this past Monday on Raw, the promo wasn't that good, and Ziggler was the saving grace. And McIntyre was better than Rollins. I know that when a show starts out...
We all have our off nights. So,
well, I know that when a show starts out the way that it did, especially with the pull apart, it's difficult for some people to match that level of intensity and enthusiasm. But you always have to find a way to push. It almost feels like the entire promo, all the way across the board, was set up for Rollins to tag out with, "I'm a bad man." That was the consummate punchline for that. And it just wasn't the best that they could have done. From there, a couple other quick notes. Mr. Ms. and Mrs., I'll actually watch.
Can't wait for that.
I know.
I cannot. Oh, my God. And you know how I don't like The Miz?
Yeah.
I am excited for this. I think it's going to be amazing.
Other than Tough Enough, this is probably the first WWE reality show that interests me to the point where I will set my DVR. But I'm going to sit back and say, if at any particular point in time they fall back on bringing the Bellas on board, F it, I'll change and I will delete it from my DVR. Plain and simple.
Well, I mean,
they need to give...
other than the baby shower episode, why would they bring them on?
Because it's the Bellas. They've got to be on something. They have their own show.
Yeah.
Leave everything else alone.
Yeah.
I'm happy with them not being on WWE programming. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I am not a fan of the Garcia sisters. Let it go. They're done. Leave them off air. I'm perfectly happy. SmackDown has a primary champion that fans can actually make an investment in, unlike Raw that has a secondary title that might as well be the primary in my book. It is. Plain and simple. And for the record, the last thing for me, two last things. Number one, Kane stole the moment during Miz TV when he did his response to Miz, talking about Timberlake reuniting with NSYNC, and Kane came back with NSYNC will never reunite. Because JT's just too big a star now. And the final one, the pop for the New Day was absolutely incredible during SmackDown this week. I'd like to have been there in the venue to know exactly how much energy the crowd was putting out. On television, it gave New Day the audible return to full prominence that they've needed. The numbers game played itself perfectly with Sanity jumping Hell No as the Bludgeon Brothers were standing there. Then it set the table perfectly, and you've got a great build in place to do a four-way crossover game between New Day, Sanity, Hell No, and Bludgeon Brothers without it feeling repetitive.
There's your Survivor Series match right there.
Oh, hell yeah. Use it. Run with it. Make a T-shirt out of it. Hashtag MaBo's Brats. I like that concept.
No.
Should we make...
I'm more of an Italian sausage guy than a bratwurst.
But it sounds better on a T-shirt. MaBo's Brats.
Quit playing with the sound effects.
I don't have to. They're my sound effects.
Quit playing with the dead gum sound effects.
Mark MaBo Bowman, last call.
Last night in Glencoe, Alabama, Southern Legacy Wrestling put on a show. Really good show. Probably what I was looking forward to being the match of the night ended rather abruptly when Cabana Man Dan legitimately rolled his ankle. For those of you who know, Cabana Man Dan is definitely one of my closest friends in professional wrestling, and I love him to death. He's a great guy. Known him pretty much, the majority of his career. And when he rolled it, dropped, and then got back up and tried to put weight on it, and he legitimately could not, my heart sank. Because, one, I knew the crowd was being denied an amazing match. He was taking on Jeremy Foster, by the way. And
I blame Foster.
Two, it wasn't Foster's fault.
I blame Foster.
And somebody actually made the perfect thing, though. You should wear boots. And he's like, no. And he's like, you Islanders have hard heads. The little double entendre there. But CMD is okay. He was headed to the doctor today. He could put weight on it. He could walk on it. But when he would go to turn, it was giving him some issues. But I haven't seen the update from the doctor just yet. But he is okay so far. So for anybody who was at Glencoe, he's okay. We don't have a complete prognosis, but he's going to be okay. But like I said, it was a great show. Got to see both Wildfire Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert, Dangerous Doug Gilbert. They had a good match. Bullet Bob Armstrong was there. Got to see Stevie Armstrong, Steve Armstrong's son.
Yeah,
he's only been wrestling now for maybe a couple months.
That.
He does have that. You could tell he's still green. Not gonna lie, he's still green. But you can already see that Armstrong genetic makeup kicking in. So give him about a year. Give him a year, and I'm telling you, you're going to be blown away.
I worked with him. I actually worked with him in Pell City before the demise of Global Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, but he's a great kid.
Yeah.
Nice shoes, very nice shoes. But yeah, it was a great show, and I believe not this Saturday. This Saturday, Southern Legacy Wrestling is back in Montford, but the 28th, and back in Glencoe. I will not be there. I will be with New Level Pro Wrestling. I finally get to meet Percy Davis and Trip Cassidy. But Farouk, Ron Simmons, will be there, as far as I know of, in Glencoe on the 28th. So, check it out.
At Beyond Ringside on Twitter, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live, BeyondRingside.com, as well as ProWrestlingRadio.net, our home. Thank you to everybody who is catching us via TuneIn Radio. We've got everything straightened out with certain parts of our streaming servers, so we are back live on TuneIn. Due to the pay-per-view this evening, I believe Corner to Corner is going to sit this one out, and I'm going to start working on post-production in a couple of minutes. You can find me at FastEddieLayne, LAYNE.com.
Round it all together?
Yeah, LAYNE, plain and simple, just run it all together. That's .com. But from that vantage point, allow me to do this one more time, and there have been a couple of people who listen who have tried to send me Facebook friend requests. If you're sending to my personal page and not Facebook.com/FastEddieLayne, and I don't know you, I'm not approving the friend request. I'm sorry. So please, if we've yet to meet or have interaction, Facebook.com/FastEddieLayne. I post similar content over there on every once in a while than I do on my personal page. So please, like I said, my personal page is for friends and family and colleagues. Same thing with my other social media sites. They are set up on the privacy standards they are for a reason. So, like I said, please respect that. For everybody who's listening live, don't forget at Beyond Ringside on Twitter. And, of course, for those of you listening on the replay side through all of the various sources, like I said, if we've said something today that you agree with, or disagree with, take umbrage with, or want to just sit back and say, you know something, I've got a counterpoint. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. The chat room is always open and available at BeyondRingside.com. And like I said, for everybody who's been asking, the app is in a state of limbo right now. For those that already have it, thank you. Because of some BS that I didn't know about, Google Play has dropped the Beyond Ringside app. I'm going to see if I can get that refreshed in the near future. So from there, like I said, please find us on TuneIn. But more importantly, you can find us through BeyondRingside.com. The player there, as well as the player on ProWrestlingRadio.net, are both all crossover, mobile device friendly. Apple, Android, BlackBerry, whatever. Mobile phone, tablet, desktop, laptop. All of them. You can play them directly through the two websites, and it's perfectly cool. I will give you this for our privacy policy. I don't want your information. I mean, if we ask for information, it is for reasons for the station and nothing else. If we ask for any type of personal information, we will not sell it to entities. We will not give it away to outside entities. You have my word on that. That's why we don't use cookies and pop-ups over at any of the websites that I run. Sorry, kids, I just don't do it. They're straight-ahead websites. I try to make it as easy and as safe as possible for everybody. And it's always been that easy when I do a website. MaBo, you're about to say?
And we have enough of our own drama with our own information. We don't need your drama, too.
There you go.
But, Eddie.
Yes.
Where can our great listeners find you on social media and going into the weekend?
Oh, next weekend I'm off. Leave me alone.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm off. I like it that way.
You know what? This is the last time I try to help you get over, kid.
And we'll see. Actually, I am doing a wedding reception next Saturday, but as far as in the world of sports entertainment, I'm off. So, yes, I have been DJing weddings and receptions for over 30 years. You can find me Full Range Entertainment at yahoo.com. That's the easy way to find me, or facebook.com/FastEddieLayne if you'd like to ask a question. The entire month of August, I am booked up every Saturday, but I do have a couple of other dates that are open throughout the course of the week. So if you'd like to set up for like a birthday party, private party, stuff like that, just shoot me a message, shoot me an email. We can work out details. If you are in Alabama...
where can they find you on Fridays?
At Buffalo Wild Wings in Alabaster, 9 o'clock p.m. start time. Friday night karaoke, all ages for the first hour, 18 and up from 10 o'clock until close. And we do the Just for Fun Karaoke Challenge. So, tell you what, did not have a winner this past Friday night in the Just for Fun. It's not a contest. It's a raffle. It's a giveaway, and it's just for fun. This week we had a $25 Buffalo Wild Wings gift card to give away. Next week...
And nobody karaoke?
I gave one chance on the drawing, and obviously the person who had the ticket had left.
It was for a $25 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yes.
Oh, brother, if you would have called me, I'd have came down there, belted out the Hannah Montana theme song.
I do it every Friday night. The Just for Fun karaoke. And
I
that's
go out at night.
Huh? No, you don't go to nudie bars. You don't go to nudie bars at night because you're afraid of vampire strippers.
I don't go to them during the day because of vampire strippers.
I don't go to them either. On that note, we were going to do an hour. It turned into 90 minutes.
What can we say? We got to get
apparently Finn Balor went over.
Yes.
On
we got to get our ish in, kids.
Say what?
We got to get our ish in.
There you go. We're heading out for the Radio Ranch at this time, folks. Thank you for hanging with us, whether it's live or on the recorded side of life. For Mark MaBo Bowman.
My baloney has a first name, and it's Baloney.
Until next time, I'm the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne saying adios, das vidania, hasta luego off youtube.com/user/Beyond Ringside.
We have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, we've had one forever and a day.
Why aren't we filming stuff for them?
That's a good question. When are we ever around in the same time?
We live 5 minutes from each other. Well,
I can't get you to come up to the damn studio. What the hell?
You won't let me take my pants off.
You're damn right I'm not going to let you take your pants off. Adios, das vidania, hasta luego. Damn it, you messed me up. Folks.
And the Bludgeon Brothers punch each other.
There you go.
The Hammer Husbands.
Thank you for going beyond ringside. We will see you next time. Bye for now.